Shalom. Kol Halo Yahal Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them, that taught us this truth. And Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word in truth and in sincerity, the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect. All right. So, the brother Yashuan, and this is going to be a quick lesson because of what happened right here in my neighborhood last night. It used to be a decent neighborhood, but right now there's just open shootings, people shooting at each other. It's a little night spot right up the street where there's clubs and bars and restaurants and stuff. And people are just shooting at each other in the open, running each other over, crime, breaking into cars, stealing catalytic converters. And last night, the ghetto bird was out shouting out loud throughout the neighborhood, come out with your hands up, over and over. Come out with your hands up for like an hour. And I mean, that's normal in some spots, but just letting you know that this thing is spiraling out of control, and it's a beautiful thing. We can't wait for that. So anyway, I'm going to make this quick. We'll start right here. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. The Most High's people are the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And that's what we're doing. Okay? These prophecies are coming to pass right now, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity, the unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay? Here come the prophecies, the words of prophecy that the Most High put in our mouth. All right? Behold, 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. Okay? The sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right? So here we are. We see it. We're not just talking about it anymore. It is escalating exponentially. All right? For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And we're complaining. All right? We're sighing and crying out here. All right? So, that's good for right now. What we'll do is we'll watch this. Okay, this is a couple weeks ago, January 25th. CBS New York, shoplifting spike in New York, and amid concerns about organized retail crime. And what they're doing is they're, fomenting a race war and pushing forth that Jake is the only one out stealing, and Esau is the good guy. He's the police. He's got to do something about it. As though the mob hasn't been out doing shoplifting and hitting trains and, hitting licks, going way back. Talk about organized retail crime. First of all, you got organized crime. That's the mob. And they've been, come on, ridiculous. This is something new in New York. Come on. Anyway, listen to this.
Spike in shoplifting in New York City. The NYPD says it hasn't seen levels like this since 1995.
And elsewhere around the country, organized retail crime is ramping up. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor talks to experts in law enforcement.
Police say this is a known shoplifter assaulting an NYPD officer at a Midtown Duane Reade.
Boom, knocked him out. Got to see that again. See, Jake is brazen. All right, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. All right, he's knocking this dude out. He's doing his job. but this is what it's coming to. What do you get? What? Don't you get locked up for this? This is assault on a police officer. But this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be this. All right. It is this. All right.
Assaulting an NYPD officer at a Midtown
Wow.
Duane Reade.
Seen a
Caught him
sharp
on the
uptick
chin.
in shoplifts that then turn into robberies.
From January 1st through September 12th, 2021, the NYPD says there were more than 26,000 complaints for shoplifting compared to the same time period in 2020, which was over 20,000. Michael LaPetri is chief of NYPD Crime Patrol Strategies. He says the pandemic helped fuel the increase. It's why many products are now locked up at your local drugstores.
A lot of people were out of work, and a lot of people were, trying to make ends meet, obviously the wrong way. We do see some of it reselling on the street.
Then there's organized retail crime, a growing concern around the country.
See how they got Jake? Right? As though this hasn't been going on. All right, the mob be boosted. Right? And who knows? They're probably taking this straight to the mob and getting pennies. Okay? Anyway.
Hundreds of millions of dollars right here.
And here's the just guy. So look at the devil. All right? You put up a couple of pictures of Jake doing wrong, but nobody that looks like you is doing anything like that. Jake is the only one on drugs. Come on. Who's dying right now of the oids? All right?
Deaths in the state of Connecticut.
Connecticut just created a task force to deal with it. So have other states like California and Illinois. So what is it?
Professional thieves working as part of a criminal organization.
That's not the mob. Only Negroes are in gangs. What about the mob? What about Babylon the Great? That's a criminal organization. What are you doing in Afghanistan? Growing drugs and killing people, stealing their land, doing what you want with it, and then just roll up out of there. What'd you do in Iran? Who are you pointing the finger at, devil?
To try to obtain as much product directly from retailers as they
Product. What were you doing in Afghanistan? Okay, you were growing poppies. Ask Pat Tillman. All right, let's revisit Pat Tillman. Why'd you kill him? Why'd you kill Pat Tillman? Because he was about to snitch on you, right? For conducting your criminal behavior on a mass scale, on a world scale, and you're pointing at Jake?
can for resale and for profit.
You said
Ben Dugan, president of the National Coalition of Law Enforcement and Retail, says some of those recruited to steal have drug addictions and need money quick.
okay, and you're only showing Jake. What about the oids? What about the opioid crisis? Who is largely taking that blow to the face? But you ain't showing none of them. All right?
We'll pay these people a flat rate, $500, let's say, to go into a Nordstrom's and steal as much.
Who's paying them? Who got $500 to run that kind of operation? All right?
Product as you can. Bring it all back to a criminal organization.
What criminal organization? The mafia? Just asking.
He says it's up nearly 30% since the pandemic began, but notes it started increasing in 2017 with the expansion of online retail marketplaces.
How does that in turn affect the customer?
The average American family will pay $500 more in higher prices to offset some of the cost of organized retail crime.
Mike Combs, director of organized retail crime investigations for Home.
There are no black detectives. When you showing this shit, you got Jake stealing as though Esau ain't out there boosting. And then when you show the cops, you're only showing Esau. Come on. It's crazy.
Depot says
Testing new technology. My team has grown.
What about stealing drugs worldwide? What about invading Afghanistan and forcing the Taliban to continue to grow poppies at gunpoint? And then creating fentanyl and all this other shit that you're putting out on the street. You're not going to say nothing about that, are you, devil? Devil. You ain't gonna say nothing about the look at them horns. Them horns at? Where them horns at? See?
Retail crime investigators, we've added more staff in certain stores to deal with this.
What about putting crack on the American streets? Did Jake do that? Who put it out there? Who brought it in on the airplane? Who brought it in on the boats? Who made a deal with the Contras? Huh? Was that Jake?
Chuck McPhillamy with the Marietta, Georgia Police Department says if you're shopping online and a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Why is it brand new in the box and they're selling it for less than I can go get it at the retail store today? You're supporting that behavior. And it.
Right. Okay. Good enough. Let's go to the next one. And then we'll get some precepts. This is crazy. Okay. I like this one because they got Jake shooting each other. Like the gangs didn't start with Bonnie and Clyde and the Barra gang and the Mafia. Only black people are in gangs. Come on.
Good evening again. I'm Sandra Bookman.
And I'm Bill Ritter. There's no question that crime is up. There's no question that these horrific high-profile tragedies need to stop. And there's no question that this fear of crime is real and growing.
But there are many questions about how to regain control of our streets, our subways, and our city. And the answers...
And look at Eve. Got Eve over here turncoating. This is Eyewitness News, ABC 7 New York. What's behind the spike in violent crime across NYC? They're only going to show you Jake criminals. They ain't, and the Irish are not gangsters. The Italians are not gangsters. The only gangsters out there is Jake.
Easy. Over the next half hour, we are going to examine what could be behind this recent spike in violence, from homelessness and mental health to illegal guns and bail reform.
I'll tell you what's behind the spike. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Let's just cut to the chase. Let me get to... Let's get some good stuff popping right here. Salakia.
New Yorkers feel more vulnerable tonight than they have in years.
It's just a very sad situation, what's going on in New York City. I hope New York City gets better.
Violent crime has been rising over the past 2 years, with crazed, unstable people in the...
Crazed, unstable people. Just Jake. Only Jake's.
Been rising over the past 2 years, with crazed, unstable people in the subways and fearless teenagers with guns. Shootings that once took place in back alleys now happen on crowded streets in the middle of the afternoon. Gang members blasting at one another, with bystanders caught in the crossfire.
What is the St. Valentine's Day massacre? Was that Jake? Was that Jake? No, it wasn't. No different than what you're trying
Among
to
the
show.
latest victims, an infant struck in the face with a stray bullet. Police officers are being shot, and unsuspecting subway riders are being attacked at random. Others are being robbed. In the past 2 months, it's become an onslaught.
Certainly the levels of safety that we saw during the last 10 years.
You're not safe because Jake is on the street. Okay, we get it. Let's go real quick. Let's type this in. Let's see. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Let's go over here. Let's find out what this is. Why does it just come right up? This is a film in 67. Let's see what this is. Uh-oh, wait. Where's the Jakes at? St. Valentine's Day Massacre videos. Let's get some perspective. Wait a minute. Wait. And these are Jakes, yeah. But wait a minute. Which one is this? What is the St. Valentine's Day Massacre? What is it? course, there's a commercial coming. Oh, wait. They're shooting each other in the street. Okay? Going back to 67. When did this happen? Oh, in 29 in Chicago. Right? Wait a minute. Chicago mass murder of 7 members of the North Side Gang. Bugs Moran, on orders from Al Capone. All right. These are not black people. They're chicks, but wait. Okay. So you mean to tell me that in Chicago ain't no white gangsters? They got on suits and tie, just like this, suit and tie, but you're not showing them. Okay. Who took down Al Capone? The feds did. Okay. Without flinching, the most shocking event of America's most lawless era.
Starring Jason Robards, unforgettable as Al Capone.
I'm talking about staying alive! Try getting it through your cement head that what Moran pulled so far, that's for openers. He wants me.
Okay, so now this is glorified. These gangsters are glorified. Feel me? But over here, these Negroes, oh, you're so completely unsafe. Okay? This right here this is no different than then. All right? So, all right, good enough. Let's go back to second Ezra. We'll go ahead and close it out. Start at 14. Second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. The chopper, the AK, the missile, the ICBM, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Jump down here to 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. This is what's going on. All right, they're boosting. They're snatching, grabbing. Spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. The Most High is bringing this thing. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect were edified. I'm done with this. Shalom.